All right, let's talk about building wealth, but from a totally different angle. I want you to forget about luck, forget about some big heroic break. We're going to look at this like we're building something piece by piece, with a really clear plan. We're going to get into the architecture of wealth.
So, let me ask you something. Does this feel a little too familiar? You are working so hard, you're saving, you're trying to get ahead, but it feels like you're just spinning your wheels. The needle isn't moving. You know, it's such a common frustration, right? That feeling that all your effort just isn't paying off, especially when you see other people who seem to be succeeding so easily. Well, here's the core idea. What if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backwards? Wealth isn't about one single moment. It's not a lottery ticket. It's not some crazy stock pick. It is a deliberate, carefully designed structure, an architecture that you build for yourself day in and day out.
Okay, so if we're building a house, where do we start? The foundation, of course. And in our wealth architecture, that foundation is built on one simple principle: compounding. We're talking about laying those first few bricks, the ones that seem small, maybe even insignificant, but everything else is going to rest on them.
This is where we need to reframe how we think about our daily habits. You know how a compounding interest account works, right? You put a little bit in, and at first, nothing really happens. But over time, the interest starts earning interest, and suddenly, the growth just explodes. Well, guess what? Your habits work the exact same way.
I mean, it starts with something this small, just 1 page a day. It feels like nothing, doesn't it?
Or maybe it's this. You skip that coffee you buy every day, and you just put that cash aside. You'd barely even notice it's gone.
Or, hey, if you're in business, maybe it's just one more call. An action that takes, 5 minutes? Each one of these, on its own, feels like it doesn't even matter.
But this is the crucial point. These aren't just small actions. They are tiny investments. And just like that money in your bank account, they compound. Over years, that 1 page a day, that turns into dozens of books read. Those few dollars, that becomes thousands. That one extra call, well, that could be the one that lands you a huge new client. It's the boring, tiny actions that, over time, create massive transformations.
So, once we've laid that foundation with our compounding habits, what's next? We need a framework. And this is where we have to shift our focus away from goals and onto something way more powerful: systems. This quote just nails it. We're all taught to set these big goals, right? Like, I want to be a millionaire. Awesome. That's your destination on the map. But, if you're in a boat with no engine and no rudder, you can paddle as hard as you want and you're just going to go in circles. Your system, that's the engine, that's the rudder. It's the thing that actually gives you control and moves you forward.
Let's break this down to make it super clear. A goal is the finish line. It's a momentary thing you achieve. A system, on the other hand, is the process you follow every single day. It's the vehicle that's actually driving you towards that destination. If you only focus on the goal, you're completely ignoring the very thing that's going to get you there.
So what does a system actually look like in real life? Well, it's not complicated. It's that automatic transfer that moves money to your investment account the day you get paid, before you could even touch it. It's that non-negotiable 15 minutes you block out every Sunday to review your budget. It's turning your daily commute into your own personal finance university. See? These are the real processes that actually guarantee you're making progress.
Okay, so we've got a foundation and we've got a framework. Our house is taking shape. But who's going to live in this house we're building? Now, this next part is absolutely critical, because for any of this stuff to actually stick, you can't just change what you do. You have to change who you believe you are.
Just let that sink in for a second. This is not just someone saying no to an impulse buy. It's a declaration, a statement of identity. It's a simple little sentence that completely changes the entire game.
Think about it. Picture two different people. The first person says, I'm trying to save money. You can just hear the struggle in their voice, right? Their identity is still a spender who is trying to resist their own nature. It's a constant fight. But the second person, they just say, I am an investor. See the difference? There's no internal conflict. Saving money isn't a struggle. It's just what an investor does. It's a huge shift.
And that's really the heart of it. If you want true, lasting change, you have to change your identity. Every single time you automate a savings transfer or read that 1 page or make that extra call, you are casting a vote. You're casting a vote for the person you want to become. You stop trying to be someone who builds wealth, and you start being that person.
So let's get to the final piece of our architecture. Let's put the roof on this thing.
We're going to make the entire house run on its own. Think of this as upgrading your financial house into a smart home, one that automates success for you.
You know, we have this myth that financially successful people are just masters of self-control, that they have superhuman willpower. The reality is actually a lot simpler and way more strategic. They don't fight temptation every single day. They just design their environment so they don't have to.
And here's how they do it. They manage friction. For bad habits, like impulse online shopping, you want to increase the friction. You make it harder to do. A great example? Delete your saved credit card info online. Just that tiny little step of having to go find your wallet might be enough to stop you. Now, for good habits, like investing, you do the opposite. You remove the friction. You automate it so the money is invested before you even see it. It's not about willpower, it's just about smart design.
So the goal here is to make building wealth the default option. It should be the path of least resistance. You set up these systems just one time, those automated investments, those scheduled transfers, and then you let them run on autopilot. They just build your wealth in the background without you needing to use your discipline every single day.
And that brings us full circle, doesn't it? Building wealth isn't about being a superhero of self-control, it's about being a smart architect. It's about having a better blueprint, one that's based on compounding habits, powerful systems, a strong identity, and an automated environment that makes it all easy.
So, looking at this whole blueprint for wealth, there's really only one final important question left, and it's for you. Remember, it doesn't have to be some big, heroic act. It just has to be the first one. So what is the first, tiny, seemingly insignificant brick that you are going to lay today?